Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of How's That the Cricket Podcast with me, Josh, and Lily.
More cricket.
Yes, it has been so much cricket lately. I mean, you got the Pakistan-Australian tour, you got the World Cup, you got the Indian and Sri Lanka test match going on. There's just so much cricket at the moment.
There is. And it's also WNCL season.
Oh, of course, yes.
And they have been going on. Unfortunately, there have been quite a few rained off games because the games in Sydney have been obviously not been too good over there in Van as well.
Torrential rain at the moment. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? But the games have been, they've been quite interesting, haven't they? So in the WNCL, there's been Tasmanian Tigers have actually won both of their games so far, so they've got off to a really good start. And so South Australia, they've won both of theirs against Western Australia as well. And yeah, World Cup, what a game that was the other night, wasn't it?
Yep, the Aussies getting the job done against England.
Yeah, it was such a close one. 12 runs in it, and it came right down to the last over.
Yes.
Obviously, big ups to Nat Siver, though. She almost brought them right over the line.
100. Fantastic 100. That was a very good knock.
Yeah, she did really well. But everyone so far, there's been lots of hundreds. You know, you've had Rachel Haynes, Nat Siver, Sophie Devine, and Hayley Matthews have all made hundreds. So what a tournament it's been so far.
Yes, and it was a bit of a shock. West Indies upsetting New Zealand in the first game. So like we said before in the previous episode, it's really open. Really open tournament. Anyone can really go for it, really.
Yeah, I was not expecting that New Zealand West Indies result, if I'm completely honest. I felt so bad for their number 11 just going in and, you know, only a little bit older than me. So going in and having to face that, well, not even face it, but just go out there for the last wicket, you know, would have been really nerve-wracking, I bet. But yeah,
or Deandra Dotton as well, getting the 2 wickets before as well. The experience holds up.
So brilliant, wasn't it?
It was very, very. There's just been fantastic games so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's only been a couple of World Cup games so far. So this episode we have another guest for you. So we have spoken to Ella Hayward, who is a Melbourne Renegades off spinner, and she is currently playing in the WNCL for Victoria. So we chat to Ella about all things playing cricket, all things travelling, learning, and being
just
confined.
How the cricket experience has been.
Yeah. So we will just get straight into the interview with Ella Hayward. We hope you enjoy.
What a start for Hayward. She's gone through Meg Lanning, and this gets better and better for the Renegades.
Ella, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So how are you? What you've been up to?
Yeah, good. Not much, to be honest. Just a lot of cricket actually at the moment. But yeah, other than that, not much.
How have you been with the pause of the WNCL?
Yeah, I've been good. I mean, we've had a lot of training. We've been lucky. Obviously, we can still train and do all those things. So it's actually been kind of good to get a bit more volume in before we start matches again, especially obviously we didn't have any wins in those first 2 rounds. So to get the squad together and prepare for the next phase has been really good, actually.
Yeah, that seems like a good way to kind of get back together again and just refocus.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah.
So I guess we'll just get straight into things. So
yeah, beautiful.
Talk us through your cricket story and how you first started playing cricket.
Yeah, so I actually played tennis when I was younger. So that was my original sport. And when I was about 9 or 10, I wanted to play a different sport just in the summer or at some point because tennis was wearing me out a little bit. So found Milo cricket just by chance a little bit. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll try it. I've tried every other sport. Let's try it. And went there and they actually said to me, they said, look, maybe you should try and, go to a club and give it a crack. And I did. I went to a club and then found myself in the under 12 state team. And I went away for my first trip and I absolutely loved it. And I like the team environment and those things. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to switch over to cricket and stop playing tennis. And yeah, just went through the pathway and found my way here.
Yeah, you made a good choice there to
Yeah, I know. Like, I did make a good choice in the end.
I guess it must be interesting to think about how it could have all turned out completely different if you didn't just try
100%.
something else.
100%.
She could be in the Australian Open right now. You never know.
I know, exactly right. It could have gone either way here. Could have gone either way.
So when you did get into cricket, who would you say that you looked up to, and who would have been your idols?
Yeah, so definitely actually Soph Molyneux was one of mine, because I met her in my first year of under 15s, and we actually met for the first time, and yeah, I watched a lot of her journey through the Renegades and the Oz staff and everything. So I looked up to her quite a lot. But yeah, then obviously getting more knowledge of cricket and Australian cricket, definitely more Meg Lanning and those kind of players. So, but definitely Soph Molyneux has been a big role model for me, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like it's now you get to play with her. What's that like?
It's so cool. I mean, the first day that we got to play, like even just like be in the same setup with the Renegades, it was just such a cool feeling, and she made me feel obviously so comfortable and welcome in the group, and obviously being alongside her at captaincy and all that has been so much fun, and I love getting to play with her and learn off her too. Does
she have good dance moves within the state setup as well? I know we've seen her Aussie stuff with the Katy Perry. Does she have good dance moves still?
She has plenty of moves. I can tell you that much. It doesn't matter what team, what day, she's got plenty of moves. Don't worry.
Both me and you had females to look up to.
Yeah, 100%.
That's something that's really different, I guess, now, and that shows the progression of women's cricket over these years. So I think that's really special as well, that you had females to look up to.
Yeah, 100%. Like when you jump into cricket, like I jumped into cricket, and again, of course, I actually didn't know about Oz women's teams and things like that. And then when I actually like started getting into it, I realized kind of what was out there. And as you said, like nowadays, and even when I was a bit younger back then, like there is, so many female role models in cricket for young players to look up to, which is really, really important and really awesome, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, on that, little girls are probably looking up to you as well. How do you feel like being a role model now and inspiring the next generation?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing feeling, to be honest. I mean, the idea that there are young girls that are watching and can see you or any player for that matter, and be like, I want to start cricket. I want to be like them. I think it's really cool and it's really important. And I really like that idea, and to see where I go with my cricket and to hopefully be an inspiration, I think would be amazing and is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. So you had your kind of breakout season in WBBL 06, and you've taken some big names. There was the Melbourne Derby where you took 4 for 16 and you got out Nat Siver and Dupree and all that. So what was that like to get some names like that in your first season?
Yeah, it was actually a really good feeling. I had not a great game before that, so I kind of just had to put that behind me. It was literally just next day we're playing again. So to kind of just put that to the side, and I don't know what it is. I think all of us, anytime there's a Melbourne Derby or, you play the Melbourne Stars, there's a little bit extra in it. And that game was such an intense game, I think, the whole way through, having the super over at the end as well. So to be able to contribute and to, regardless of who the names are, but I think it's obviously an even more special feeling when, your first wicket's Nat Siver and, all those things. Like, I think it just adds a little bit extra to it, and it's why you play, and it's a lot of fun. And it felt really good and really rewarding in that moment.
I think it's always being South Australian and beating Victoria is always the big one for us. And
so 100%.
I mean, you got the Melbourne Derby, and it's just like you want to do well, and 100% understand that. So we're talking about how is having the First Nation round of course, with your background, and how amazing was that to be a part of?
Yeah, it was actually awesome. I think having every team have a jersey and to actually have a dedicated round to the First Nations, I think was really important. And I think obviously we had a lot of media around it as well. So it's just even just getting it out there and starting conversations and paying tribute to the First Nations, I think was really awesome.
Yeah, some of the designs of the jerseys were absolutely incredible.
I
And
love them.
Yeah, and having Indigenous artists as well come together, and they're just beautiful. Yeah, it's just fantastic.
I think so too. I think, and they've all got meaning behind them, and they're like you said, like getting to work with Indigenous artists and get them a bit of exposure as well is, I think, really important. So I thought it was really good.
And yeah, also, what's your background? Whereabouts is your family from?
Yeah, so my background is Jarwin. So yeah, that's my main mob, which is just on my dad's side. So
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So I guess also on that point, it's, obviously it's very meaningful to everyone in the team. So to have these international players also contribute and join that round and wear the jersey, that must also be really special to kind of share that with everyone who's from other countries as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think it just shows kind of coming together, and I think Australian players and international players, like they're all, especially knowing my background, like having them ask questions and just want to learn about it, I think is really, really cool. And like I said, like it gains knowledge for those international players, and they feel really, well, from everything I've heard, they all felt really privileged to be a part of it. And which is really good to see, and I'm glad everyone got something out of it and all really enjoyed putting on the jersey and just putting it all out there on the line.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily stuff you ever really find out about unless this stuff is kind of brought to the attention of viewers.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
100%.
And who better to ask?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess going back to last season, the season before, the one that's just happened, it was held in the hub in Sydney. So you were in year 11, I believe.
Yes.
So what was that like, doing online learning, playing cricket, being confined in a hotel? What was that like?
Actually, look, I didn't find it too bad at all. I think it was a little bit helpful, it being my first year. So obviously it was a new experience for everybody. So we're all somewhat on a level playing field, I felt like. But school-wise, it wasn't too bad, actually. I had a pretty supportive school. So just as long as I communicated properly and got everything done, they weren't too fast. I think being in year 12 would have been a little bit tougher in the hub scenario. So glad it was just year 11. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. And it was kind of nice having some work in that hotel space if you're a little bit bored, or if things aren't going well with cricket, you can kind of put your mind away, or vice versa. School's getting a bit annoying, so I can go and play cricket, and it balanced out pretty well. So it was actually a pretty good experience.
Yeah, no, that's great. I would have loved that. Just do school. Oh no, I'm just going to go play some cricket. All good, just for a break.
Yeah, exactly. It was a good feeling. Just not going to go play cricket now.
Yeah.
And how was the hub life there? Like, they had a lot of activities for you guys to do. I saw the Renegades girls got a bit competitive with some basketball games.
Yeah. We definitely, there was things everywhere for everyone. There was table tennis, basketball, game simulation, golf simulation, you name it, they pretty much had it. So there was plenty for people to do, 2 dining halls, all that type of stuff. So there was not too much boredom going around. You could leave to go for a walk nearby. So in general, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, a lot of the girls loved the table tennis and the basketball. They definitely got around it a bit.
Who was the best at the table tennis, do you think?
Or I'd say Maitland Brown and Georgia Wareham were a pretty good duo, and Dooley as well, all very good at table tennis.
Yeah, it looked quite obviously it would have been tricky because you were kind of confined to that one space, but it looks kind of like a themed Big Bash hotel. Like, it looks
it
looks
does.
kind of fun.
It
like,
genuinely did.
I wouldn't mind going to stay there.
No, exactly. Like literally there was like you'd go up the stairs and all the teams are like written up. Like it looked like it was like some big bash hotel. It was crazy. It did definitely look like that.
Yeah, it's
Lily, I think we could get onto that instead of a Disney hotel. Let's get a cricket hotel.
yeah, just get a big bash.
Yeah, that right.
But like you said before, it was probably a bit easier for you because you hadn't experienced what it was like kind of before this happened. So it might be a bit trickier for the girls who have been playing for a long time to kind of then
used to
but then
it's interesting what you said, Lily. It's like, and Ella, you guys did this, and not many people would get like this pandemic might go on for 5 years or so, but then it'll stop, and then we might not experience it again.
Yeah.
So it's just really, I think it's not cool living in it, but it's very interesting, and just like some cricketers might not ever go through what you're going through now, and it's just crazy when you think of it like that.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's that unique experience that, you know, everyone that did it knows about, and you kind of went through that, and it is very unique to you and whoever experienced it, definitely.
You look back on the history books, and then 15 years down the track, you go,
remember that time? Yeah, 100%.
That year that we couldn't even travel anywhere to play, we shut down one place.
It's crazy.
But it must have felt a bit better being able to actually go in between states this year.
Much better.
Last year. So I read an article where apparently you had an exam one morning and then went straight to a game.
Yes.
And played.
I had an English exam, so it was my first exam. It was the day that we were playing the Sydney Thunder at like 12 o'clock, I'm going to say. Oh, no, maybe like 1 o'clock, whatever time. So the thing is the English exam is actually the longest exam that we have. So it's actually 3 hours long. So started at 9 o'clock. And or 2 hours long, however long it is. I don't want to remember. Finished. And so I think our warm up was around, it started at 12-ish. Got there and we'd already tossed and everything. So I literally had to do the exam, left the exam, went straight to the game, warmed up, and thankfully we were batting first. So I got a second to relax. But then after that, I then just, I was then opening the bowling after that. So it was just kind of a full circle moment. I was just like, well, about 5 hours ago, I was just at a desk trying to do an English exam, and now I'm bowling to freaking Smithy Mandana. Like it was just, it was such a strange experience, but it was one I will never forget, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It'd be good if you were doing a maths exam beforehand.
It's just any other exam. No.
If you're bowling, if all right, so say you did a maths exam, you're just all right, I'm bowling. Okay, yep, that diagonal.
That angle, yeah.
It'll all be fresh in your head.
100%. Make it relate to what I'm doing.
If I rotate it 50 degrees, that should get 20 more. Yeah.
100%.
What are you studying at the moment at school?
Yeah, so I'm doing a gap year this year. But next year I'm going to go into sport coaching and development at La Trobe University. So that'll be good.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on, or was it just that one, or was it just studying for that exam, or did you have anything else on before while you were still in?
Yeah. So I still had 3 more, actually 4 more after that. So you have to do 2 math exams. So I think I did them in Perth. I had to do 1 in Adelaide as well, or a couple in Adelaide as well.
City.
So
the best city.
Yeah, I loved Adelaide. I will say that I had a great time in Adelaide.
It's like Melbourne,
one of my favorites.
Little brother, Melbourne's little brother. I feel because
I agree.
Not that busy, but Melbourne's really good and busy. But you were just little brother. No,
I agree. I like where we stayed and everything like that. Like, I agree. It was I enjoyed it a lot. So, but yeah, had the 4 other ones to do, got them done, and I think in Mackay that was my first place that I didn't have any exams, so that was a little bit more enjoyable than some of the other places.
Mackay's beautiful as well.
Oh my God, it was gorgeous where we stayed.
The lucky
We did
places.
not want to leave. We did not want to leave.
It's a bit
all.
different. It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Did you have a bit more freedom when you were coming down to Adelaide? Were you able to do much when you were down there? And if so, where did you go? What did you get up to?
Yeah, so obviously we actually were a bit unlucky where we had a little bit of restrictions from time to time in Tassie before we went to Adelaide. So we were all very keen to get out of Tassie.
Yeah.
But then we got to Adelaide, and yeah, from there we just had a lot of freedom, which was so good. Yeah, like we still had a lot of freedom wherever we went, but just a little bit extra, and you know, you could go wherever you liked for dinner and things like that, and just as long as you were following all the right rules, and it was all good. And yeah, got to explore a little bit, and just kind of enjoy the city and wherever we went. So it was good.
Yeah, it seems so much better because the season finished just before Omicron kind of kicked back in. So you had a lot more freedom than the men's teams did.
Yes, we got very lucky with we were very lucky with our timing. I think it would have been interesting what would have happened, I think, if we had a similar situation to the boys. But yeah, we got very lucky with our timing of things. So thankfully we got the whole tournament in without too many issues.
Yeah.
And next season it's just a little bit smoother.
Yeah, hopefully just as each season goes on, it gets a little bit easier each time, and the more like we deal with different circumstances, we know how to handle them and get through it. So
at least it's good that we're having a WNCL season now. I know it's a bit shorter and a bit more quicker, but at least we're having it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we just need to get in and get it done, and I think it'll fly by, but I think it'll be good that we're actually getting started and starting to play again.
And I think it's good because now that it's happening and the Women's World Cup is happening, a lot of teams are a bit, I wouldn't say depleted, but a bit lack a bit of star power. Like I know, the Scorpions, Shooter, Wello, and for you guys as well, and create a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Like we have 6 Aussie players, so like for us, like we change quite a bit in terms of our team, which is good. It gives so much opportunity for so many different players, younger, middle age, older, it doesn't really matter. You know, we've got plenty of opportunity now for all different players, and I think we're all pretty excited for that. So yeah, it does create a lot of opportunity for all teams, I think, which is the most important thing because it develops younger players and each player.
6, that's half a team.
Yeah,
that's half. You've got to replace half a team. Yeah, but no, it's going to be fantastic to see.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's why I think Australia does have so much upcoming talent, and I think it's a shame to have your more experienced players gone, but to have these younger players or be able to come in and have these opportunities, it's a good head start, I guess, on going up and possibly playing for the Renegades or the Stars or Australia even. So that's a good outlook, I guess, to have on it.
Yeah, I think they work really hand in hand. Like I know like a few of the girls like that we've contracted, like we've had at Vic, like have actually come from Big Bash and like vice versa. So I think it's good how they interchange with each other. And it creates so much opportunity. Like you said, like you can create really good players at young ages. I think you look at, you know, your Georgia Warrens, your Soph Molyneux, like how young they actually are when they're playing, even though they're playing for their country. So I think it's really good that we get to develop good players at young ages from both competitions, which I think we're really lucky with.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a really good season, like back end of the season, I guess, because you got some new names who would be coming in and making some appearances. So, you know, it'll be really exciting to see and to watch. It's a shame that we've only got 2 games in Adelaide, and it's both against Western Australia. So,
oh my God, unlucky on that one.
Sydney
bit of a stitch up there.
Yeah, Sydney got very lucky with the schedule. It's like, damn. But
why do New South Wales always get the good anyway?
I know, yeah. I think we can both agree on New South Wales.
They get the golden treatment all the time. Don't worry.
Well,
Always.
they didn't get any women's ashes, so I guess we'll
We'll forgive them. We'll forgive them.
Give them that.
Yeah,
we'll give them that.
I think I saw you at Junction Oval because I went down to the last ODI. I travelled over.
Yeah,
so,
I was there.
Yeah. So how did you find that game?
Yeah, really good. I thought it was a good game. It was very convincing win, so it was good to see them all play pretty well. But I love watching them play. Obviously, it's always strange though because like I train with some of them, so like you think I was just like in the gym with Meg Lanning a few weeks ago, and now she's out there like making 50 like it's nothing. Like it's always so strange to me now. But yeah, it was good to watch and get together and watch again.
Yeah.
Do you like you said, you've trained with them and played with them, and do you and some of the other girls when you go down, do you give them a little heckle or do you like give them a bit of dick or?
Oh, look, you give them a little shout. So we all met up, like a lot of the big girls, we actually met up to watch the game. So we were actually on the hill when Meg made her 50. We made a little extra noise and she gave us a little nod. So that was good that she found us. So yeah, every now and then you give a little something just to know that you're there watching. But yeah, always.
I guess it gives you that extra, does it give you an extra little a boost in confidence, I guess, knowing that you did play with them like Meg Lanning and go in the gym with them to see them play against England and be like, well, I can do that, is that a feeling that you have?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where like obviously that's where they become like a role model and somebody you like look up to a little bit, where if you're out training and you get them out or you hit a good shot off them, you go, well, it kind of gives you that confidence that you know that you can do it. Like I know a lot of the girls, especially when she was fit and training with us, like anytime somebody got through a net session with Taylor Blamick, they were like, yeah, I'm elite, this is great. So it just gives you that little extra booster that with hard work that you can get there as well. You play with them, you play against them in some scenarios depending on certain players. So it does give you that little extra booster to work that little extra harder and push for what you're achieving, which is for most of us to obviously play international cricket. So yeah, it's good to have around the group when they're around.
That would be fantastic. But yeah, facing Taylor, I just go, up Taylor, you're bowling it. Here you go, here's the stumps.
Yeah. I'll just stand to the side. Yeah.
I'm just gonna redo my grip.
Yeah.
I'll check your front foot.
On pad now. Yeah.
Oh, I just need to tie up my pad. Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah, you're good. I just need to tie up my shoelace. So you go ahead.
Is it scary sometimes facing her in the nets? And
I have been very lucky. I've not gotten to face her yet, but I have had to face Pez, Belzy, the others. So indoors, it's not fun. I mean, I'm glad I've never faced her indoors. But outdoors, it's a little bit better. But indoors, I don't even want to think about it right now. So yeah, it would be tough.
People don't get it because it's just like people go, oh, they're not as quick as the man. I'm like, well, you face Taylor and how you see how you
100%. 100%, and I understand that, but even like your Pez's and your Belties, if you're even just like a normal cricketer, it's still just as tough, and it's more also, they hit the right areas, they swing the ball, all those things. So it's also that side of things as well. So
yeah. So this season you had Harmanpreet Kaur, Jemima Rodrigues, and Eve Jones come down as your internationals. So Harmanpreet Kaur especially, what was it like to have just these superstars come over and just be in your team?
Yeah, it was really good. They really gelled with the group quite well. We obviously did the best we could to really make them part of the group, and from a cricket point of view, it was really, really great. So more so, obviously they're not, especially Harmanpreet and Jemmy, like not as talkative in terms of being outwardly, giving advice. However, if you ever needed or you had a question, they were always willing to answer it and give you any advice. But I kind of found Harmanpreet really great, like in game. She would always, come over if whether I was struggling a bit or not, make a suggestion or, give a little bit of advice. And most of the time she would just say, "You're doing really well, keep doing what you're doing," which I think is really reassuring, especially from someone of her talent. So it was actually really good to have her in the team, especially in game, and she was such a key player for us. So obviously having her play well and watch her play some of her best cricket was amazing to watch. So it was really good to have all three of them. They were all really great around the group.
Yeah, I'd say that Jemima and Harmanpreet were more known here than Eve probably was. So
Yes.
I'd seen her previously a little bit because of the 100.
Yes,
but that was it. You'd only see her there, and I think a lot of people might not have known her name. So what was it like having her as well, not as famous in Australia as Harmanpreet?
Yeah.
And Jemima? What was that like for her? Did you enjoy having her around?
Yeah, definitely. I actually found out before we met her, I found out that she used to play for the club I currently play for, Premier Cricket. So I was like, that's a bit of a full circle moment there. That's funny. But she, again, another one, like really great human. She loved being here and kind of being a part of the group. And again, we all really got to know her. And then we started, obviously, you watch her start to play and you go, okay, wow, she can really hit a ball. So to kind of see her play different roles with the bat and she could bowl if we ever needed her, and great fielder as well. Like, I think having any form of international player, any kind of skill or level, like, I think it's always good to have someone different in the group. And she did play an important role for us, especially in those first few games. And she seemed to have a really good time and enjoyed being around the group. So it was really good to have. And I think more people know her now as well. And seeing her do the England A stuff and all that type of stuff is really cool to see. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it'd be great to see any of them come back down. It was really good to watch, especially Harmanpreet getting player of the tournament, I think it was.
Yes.
So that must have been really cool to have someone from your team and an international player.
Yes. Yeah, she was so great. Like, watching like some of the shots she plays and just watching her bat, sometimes you just kind of sit there and go, how does she do that? Like, it's unbelievable. So it's good to have that in the team and for other people to watch and kind of learn off. So it was really good to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got some this or that questions.
Beautiful.
All right, here we go. We got chocolate or lollies?
Lollies.
Lollies, good. I like that. Tim Tams or Oreos?
That's so tough. Probably Tim Tams. I'm gonna go Tim Tams. Classic.
Yeah, it's a tough one, yeah, because you get the Oreo, you come. 2020 or Test match?
I'm gonna go I'm just gonna go 2020. That is also very tough. I would love to play Test cricket, but I'm gonna go 2020.
Yep. All right. Probably an easier tea or coffee.
Oh, I don't really drink either.
Oh, don't drink either. Okay, that's fair, right?
No, I don't drink either. I would probably pick coffee if I had to pick one, but I don't really drink either.
We'll go Milo. That's fine.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Movies or TV shows?
Ooh, TV shows.
TV show. Do you have a favorite TV show?
Killing Eve.
Killing Eve. I've heard good stuff about it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it. Yeah, that's everything. You did very well.
Thank you.
A couple of tough ones in there. Yeah. We chucked the chocolate lollies one in. That's a fresh one.
I like that one. I think I like that one. It's tough, but I'm probably more lollies personally.
I'm more chocolate cups, so yeah, definitely more lollies than chocolate.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing is, though, you can kind of your chocolate would just melt. But your lollies stay put on. Right now we have one big question.
This is a huge question.
Question has been a thing. We've asked everyone this. So
what are we 1-1? I meant 1-1.
Yeah, we're 1-1. So
yes.
Okay.
So, do you classify porridge as cereal?
Oh wow. That's actually a really good question. When I classify porridge as cereal, I'm gonna go with yes.
No.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
Come on.
Like I feel like
Oh.
when I think of porridge, I think of breakfast. You have to. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes.
Thank you.
I
Ella.
think porridge is a cereal. I see it as a cereal.
It's so interesting to hear because so many people have so many
Yeah.
different arguments about it, and each
Yeah.
time it's a different. So we chatted to Kate Cross last time, and she says she classifies cereal as anything that floats in milk, and soup.
Oh.
Not saying soup, porridge.
Well, she
you
did say it was a soup.
stir it and you make it into a con. I don't classify as. I say it's the consistency of like a soup, but it's not a soup, obviously.
Yeah.
It's the consistency of it. So I would put it into like the muesli category kind of on its own.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Usually you don't have the hot
See?
milk.
You're about to jump ship now. Josh. Is
That's the other thing. I just classify cereals
Ella,
anything
stay
in
over the
milk.
good side.
Anything in milk.
Yeah.
But I guess
Yeah,
it kind of turns into not milk because you're mixing it with milk.
that is true.
Mm.
There's so many
Lily,
arguments. Like you
Lily-
said, there's so many arguments.
Lily, you're too
I'm going with cereal though.
Oh.
because the definition of it, Google. I actually looked this up and done a bit of research. It could be a uni topic.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
'Cause, there's so many-
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's classified as a hot breakfast, like as a
Yeah.
hot cereal.
No, not hot
Like that
cereal.
is.
I see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, currently Josh is 2-1 up. So
There you go.
I've got some persuading to do, I do.
One more question. Sorry, one more. What's next for you, Ella? Like, what are you aiming for? Like, what are you aiming for with your cricket? Obviously, to get to higher honours, but yeah, is that something that you would like to do?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, like you said, higher honours is the goal, but for now, I think it's currently just continuing with Big Bash and WNCL and contributing as much as I can and seeing how far I can go. But obviously, I'm enjoying my cricket quite a lot, so just contributing to both those teams now and just seeing where I go with my cricket. But yeah, that's about it, really.
No,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's awesome.
It'll be great to see, where you'll be in the matter of months, years, who knows. It'll be great to see what you're up to a bit later on. But I
Still
guess
very young.
yeah, you got
Yes.
a lot to
I'm getting old.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. We really appreciate your time.
No, thank you so much for having me. I've had an awesome time. Thank you, guys.
What a start for Hayward. She's gone through Meg Lanning, and this gets better and better for the Renegades.
How brilliant was it to talk to Ella and hear her talk about her cricket experience?
Oh, it's very insightful, as all our interviews have been. It's just been fantastic to talk to people, and Ella was great. It was very interesting to hear how she handled the hub life and school.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and just how she can inspire people to bowl off spin, and yeah, she's very humble.
Yeah, for sure. She was a bit she didn't quite know how to answer when we said how does it feel to be a role model. So that was quite interesting to see that she might not feel like she has that potential to inspire so many young girls, but yet she does, because the way that women's cricket has been televised recently has been really accessible. So I think that's definitely something that young girls and boys can look up to.
Yes, 100%. And cricket has really just become a sport for all, really. Just like, no matter what your background, no matter what, it's just fantastic to see young players really develop and become role models. Is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, she's only pretty much right at the beginning of her career. She's only been in the scene for a couple of years now. So it was great to talk to her and about hoping that we could see her on the big stage, the even bigger stage, the Australian stage, sometime soon.
Definitely,
She's
yeah.
definitely got the potential. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where she goes with her cricket.
Yeah, no, it will be. And no, like you said, she's young and she's got an exciting future ahead. And even to see such a young cricketer have a start to a long career, definitely. And like you said, hopefully higher honours for Australia, but she's going to have a long career for Victoria and Melbourne, a T20 career as well.
Yeah, for sure. So that was our episode with Ella Hayward. We really hope you enjoyed listening and hearing what she has to say. Next week, we will be talking about the World Cup and where it is currently at, as it will probably be 15 games.
There'll be a lot more cricket had and more things to talk about.
A lot more. So yeah, next week we will be pretty much just reviewing all of the games that have been going on so far.
And we'll review probably the first test of Pakistan and Australia.
Yeah, definitely. So if you enjoyed this episode, you can let us know on Instagram or Twitter at howsthattcp, or you can send us an email at howsthatthecricketpodcast@gmail.com. But that is all from me this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.
How's that?